Grand Rising to all you beautiful souls of light. Welcome to CLG Vision Point. And I am Cindy Lorraine Grace. This is my first segment, December 31st, 2024. And it's the second day of 7. I must just say, though, it is my anniversary, my wedding anniversary of 29 years. Anyways, each segment is going to be a unique place where I can share stories, quotes, family and health thoughts, new technology, community and world news, etc. So much more. And I'm leaving it open to whatever comes my way that I can share with you all. And I'm so excited that I have started a Telegram page, a new Telegram page, CLG Viewpoint, where you can post your ideas and thoughts. And if you need somebody to talk to, I'll be there for you. I'm so looking forward to getting to know you. And now, each segment, I will start with a saging. Saging is a process of clearing energies, any low negative energies in your space. You can also sage energetically to other places, like through each and every viewer here and around the world. And as I clear my space and your space and other spaces around the world, I ask that all low energy entities, you are healed. You're forgiven, enlightened, and sent back to your perfect place and escorted by my spiritual guides. And so it is. And now, everything is positive and we can start into health sense. I have a book here I'm going to share with you, and it's called The China Study, written by T. Colin Campbell and Thomas M. Campbell. Quote from Joel Furman, author of Eat to Live. The China Study gives critical, life-saving, nutritional information. Dr. Campbell's expose of the research and medical establishment makes this book a fascinating read and one that could change the future for us all. Now, on page 139 to 140 in this book, it reads, the solution to losing weight is a whole food, plant-based diet coupled with a reasonable amount of exercise. It is a long-term lifestyle change rather than a quick fix fad, and it can provide sustained weight loss while minimizing risk of chronic disease. I personally, myself and my husband are starting to follow this regime. I did quite a few years ago, and we got into a very healthy state. I lost some weight, and my husband felt so much better as well as I did. And now we regressed a bit, and now we're back on track, and we're going to start with a whole-based diet, whole foods diet, plant-based. And so we'll keep you in touch on how we're doing, and if you want to share how you're doing, I welcome it. And thank you. Part of this book, there was some studies done. And one of the studies was that in a 3-week time, 4,500 patients lost 17 pounds. Another study showed that 2 to 5 pounds were lost in 12 days, 10 pounds lost in 3 weeks, and 16 pounds lost in 12 weeks, 25 pounds lost after 1 year. There are people who have excessive amount of weight to lose, and after the weight loss, the weight can be kept off for a long term by staying on the healthy eating regime. Just something for you to think about. My personal thoughts are something for you to think about. You choose whatever's best for you or whatever eating regime is best suited for you. I just like to share some inspirational books that could help you or anybody who chooses to follow with a plant-based diet. And now, Inspired Souls of Light. This is a message. Today's message is from Bruce Lee. water making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find it way round or crooked. But nothing within you to encourage outward things that dispose to sin. Empty your mind to be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes. You put water into a bottle, and it becomes the bottle. You put it into a teacup, it becomes the teapot. Now, what can flow or it can crash? Be water, be like water, my friend. Bruce Lee. Now, on to we are inundated with taxes. This is a part one of three-part series on taxes. We'll start with history, a little history. When were taxes first introduced into Canada? Good question. Canada history, July 25th, 100 Years of Temporary Tax, written by Mark Montgomery on July 25th, 2017. He posted this. It's been updated September 17, 2020. On July 25th, 1917, the First World War was at its height. Having dragged on for 3 years, grinding up lives, resources, and money. On July 25th, the federal government introduced, quote, war income tax, close quote, in Parliament to help replenish the drained federal coffers. The, quote, Income War Tax Act, close quote, would be passed on August the 17th and with royal assent come into effect in September 20th. It was somewhat of a political gesture as well, in that only days before the government announced conscription, which would send more young men to war. Conscription was a highly controversial move, and the fact that wealthier Canadians would have to do more to contribute to the war was not totally unwelcome, although there was certainly opposition. While it is generally believed that personal income tax was to be a temporary measure and often was touted as such, in truth, the finance minister, St. Thomas White, has suggested that it be revisited after the war. However, even at the time, other politicians said that once embarked upon, such a tax would likely remain for years to come. Sir Thomas White, Minister of Finance, stated, Mr. Chairman, I desire today to lay before this committee proposals for a national measure of income taxation. Hitherto, we have relied upon duties of customs and of excise, postal rates, and other miscellaneous sources of revenue. Canada has been and will continue during the lifetime of those present today to be a country inviting immigration. I have therefore thought it desirable that we should not be known to the outside world as a country of heavy individual taxation. We are, however, confronted with grave conditions arising out of the war. The time has arrived when we must resort to direct taxation. I am confident, Mr. Chairman, that the people of Canada, whose patriotism during this war has been so often and so nobly proven, will, in light of present conditions which call for it, cheerfully accept the burden and the sacrifice of this additional taxation. We cannot see very far ahead in these days. We do not know how long this war will last. We do not know what the attitude of the people of this country will be upon the many questions, social, industrial, financial, and fiscal. Therefore, I have placed no time limit upon this measure, but merely have placed upon Hansard the suggestion that a year or two after the war is over, the measure should be reviewed by the Minister of Finance of the day with a view of judging whether it is suitable to the conditions which then prevail. But since that time, taxes and methods of taxation have dramatically increased, with the government creating new methods and areas to tax. The original 11-page Tax Act has ballooned, I say ballooned, into a document of over 3,000 pages. 1918, a person required to pay taxes would have contributed the equivalent of about $14 in today's terms, whereas in 2016, that same person would be paying over $4,000 and higher as of today. Income tax, once a minimal source of revenue for the government, has now risen to the point where taxpayers have now become the main source of funds for the government, growing from a mere 2.6% of revenue in 2017 to an expected 51% this year of 2016. Personal thoughts. Taxes were first implemented were only to be adhered to for a short, I say short time. Sure didn't happen. This also occurred when GST was introduced to the public for 1 year. And we still have it today. Were taxes created for greed? Has the government been honest to the citizens of Canada? Something to think about. In my next segment, part 2, I will discuss tax-free countries. Yes, countries that are free of tax. Now, on to international news. 9 new nations to join BRICS, boasting global influence. An excerpt of a story by Marta Bellin of the Daily Wrap. 9 countries are preparing to join BRICS bloc, BRICS, established in June 2009 during a summit in Russia. The group's official goals include developing a new currency system and reforming the UN. By 2020, the GDP of BRICS countries had surpassed the economic growth of the G7 nations. BRICS currently includes 9 member countries: Brazil, Russia, China, South Africa, India, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates, along with partner countries. On January the 1st, 2025, the bloc will expand further by incorporating 9 new countries. The new partners will be Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. Consequently, the countries belonging to BRICS will account for 41% of the world economy and will be home to half of the world's population. Russia envisions a common currency for the BRICS developing countries group. Now, this next article is from the Council of Foreign Relations, last updated December 12, 2024. Why does BRICS matter? The coalition is not a formal organization, but rather a loose bloc of non-Western economies that coordinate economic and diplomatic efforts around a shared goal. BRICS countries seek to build an alternative to what they see as the dominance of the Western viewpoint in major multilateral groupings such as World Bank, the Group of 7, that's the G7, and the UN Security Council. Growing membership also brings new challenges. However, there has been pushback from Western countries and divisions within the bloc. Personal thoughts. It seems like being a member of BRICS has some tremendous opportunities for these countries that joined. Now, we're coming near the closing, and I'd like to share a meditation called the box meditation or square meditation. This is a form of meditation that makes me feel so relaxed, and I hope it makes you feel relaxed as well, if you choose to do it. It's those quiet moments in meditation that helps me reflect, and I can go within and be myself, and I get grounded and I'm balanced, and it sure helps. It is a series of breath inhalation and exhalation and holds. You start with a count of 4 and hold your breath for a count of 4 and slowly breathe out a count of 4 and you hold for a count of 4 and then you start all over with a breath count of 4 and it goes like this. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4 and hold 2, 3. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3. And thank you. And now, I am Cindy Lorraine Grace of CLG Viewpoint, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here today. If you feel compelled, please share this forum with others. Have a truly wonderful evening and see you next time, next year. And good night, my friends. Find inspiration around you. Motivation. Choose your passion. It's love, joy, happiness.